The Electric State is Netflix's latest attempt at a blockbuster, with names like Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown, and the Russo Brothers attached. Critically speaking, it's not exactly held in high regard, but I want to see for myself if this movie is as big of a dumpster fire as the critics say it is, or if there's some redeeming quality in there. So, let's find out.
Nobody can touch my swag. Nobody can deal with my swag.
Yeah, it's mid. It's a story about a girl tracking down her family, meets some quirky characters along the way, ends up leading a rebellion. As specific as those story beats sound when put together, I feel more than confident I've seen this type of movie countless times. The movie takes place in a retro-futuristic 1990s where robots have become an oppressed people after losing a war to humans.
Connor, the fuck are you doing?
I do think the world building is interesting. Granted, I am a sucker for both sci-fi and alternate history, so it's kind of a gimme. But aside from that, the film didn't really become too interesting. I mean, I like the banter between Chris Pratt's and Anthony Mackie's characters. Yes, Anthony Mackie is in this. I didn't recognize his voice at first either, but surprisingly, he is in the credits, and he provides the voice for Herman. Realistically, I think this film is more deserving of like a 45 to 50% Rotten Tomatoes score, which, yeah, still isn't saying much about it, I guess. Look, it's a film everyone either forgets about or becomes some sort of cult favorite like 10 years down the road. And I'm leaning more towards the former, but just because it's forgettable does not mean it's deserving of a 15% critic score. Everybody gives decent enough performances. I mean, Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt, but I have a high Chris Pratt tolerance, so it doesn't really affect me much. What can I say? He was fantastic in Parks and Rec.
What the man?
I thought the CGI used for all of the different robots and drones was well executed, and like I said, a very unique and interesting setting. But there's so many scenes of just endless exposition. I understand that exposition is necessary sometimes, but Christ, can we scale it back? All the lore dumping probably increased this movie's runtime by like 30 minutes. It was like watching one of my videos where I'm desperately trying to reach the 8-minute mark, so I just blabber away until I meet that quota. Hey, gotta love the meta humor. I'm here all week, everybody. That is another thing I feel really held this movie back. The runtime is just over 2 hours. I know the Russo brothers are accustomed to directing longer blockbusters such as Infinity War and Endgame, but this is a fresh IP nobody really gives a shit about, and it's not being sold as some sort of event of the century. It's a Netflix slop film. I do not want to sit through 2 hours of what is just something you would take that girl you really like out to see while out on a date, because it's either this generic kids film by Illumination or a horror film that you're too prideful to admit that you want to avoid because you don't know the point of intentionally making yourself scared. So you went with this. Honestly, The Electric State may have benefited greatly from a theatrical release. This doesn't seem like something that can be fully enjoyed from your living room. If the film was rewritten to fit the exposition in a more efficient manner and the runtime was shorter by like, I want to say 15 to 20 minutes, I think this would be a better product. I'd say it had the potential to be a 60, maybe 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. Or if they wanted to keep the runtime at over 2 hours, they should have adapted the book more faithfully. Maybe. I never read the book, so I am just kind of talking out of my ass right here. But all in all, I would say it's more of a mid 45%. I do know that the audience score is in the 70s last I checked, but that's still a bit generous. How much did Planters bite into the budget to include Mr. Peanut in this? Or did they pay to have him in this? No, it's usually the other way around if they make a whole fucking character around a brand mascot. Corporations only pay to have their products be seen on screen in its intended use. By the way, yes, Mr. Peanut is a character with voice acting provided by Woody Harrelson.
Weed is for the people. It's the people's weed.
I don't know why. So, yeah, I'll see you when I see you.